Get ready, get set, and settle back for a visit with the Bumsteads. Before we join the Bumsteads of Shady Lane Avenue, let's gather around the bandstand for a curtain raiser from Rihanna Mirabello. Raise that curtain, Rihanna. Thank you, Rihanna. This week's episode is being sponsored by the Watertown Players, your favorite community theater troupe for more than 30 years. You know, folks, there are so many great things in life. Things like banana nut coconut ice cream, beef-flavored toothpaste, extra strong toilet paper, and dachshunds, just to name a few. But the greatest thing in life is most definitely the Watertown Players and the great family-friendly entertainment that you get every single time you tune into Blondie. So make sure to keep following the Watertown Players on Facebook so that you can be great and stay great. Isn't that great? The Watertown Players, dedicated to enriching the lives of those in this and surrounding communities through creativity, expression, and fun. And now, as our weekly visit with the Bumsteads begins, we find the windows of their living room open to the soft air of an early spring evening. Maybe it's the weather, or perhaps it's the hour that makes Baby Dumpling yawn.
Goodness, baby.
Excuse me, Mommy.
My. Now I'm going to have to yawn too. Excuse me.
Hey, listen, if you two are gonna sit there and...
Excuse you, Dagwood.
Don't mention it.
Maybe we'd better all go to bed.
Oh, no, Mommy. You promised to read my new fairy tale book.
Well, you'll have to wait till your father's finished with it.
Hey, me? I haven't got it. These are catalogs. Seed catalogs, honey.
Well, if they're like the seed catalogs you had last year, they're full of fairy tales too.
The radishes came up last year.
I know. We planted $10 worth of garden truck seeds and got 40 cents worth of radishes.
You ought to read my book, Mommy. It tells how to grow beans. Look at the picture.
Oh, yes, I see. Well, of course, those were magic beans, baby.
Where could we buy some magic beans?
I wish I knew. I'd buy some for Daddy. Then he could have a garden without working so hard.
Oh, I don't mind working in the garden.
That's what you said last spring, Dagwood. But by June, the weeds were so high we couldn't see Daisy's doghouse from the back windows.
You could see the lightning rod on it.
Well, that was because I kind of specialized last year. That grass grew up while I was experimenting with my idea for crossing corn with beans. I'd bet you'd been pretty proud if I'd invented a succotash plant.
What was that finally came up?
Mr. Fuddle called it Bumstead's Blunder.
Shh, baby.
No telling what it might have been. Fuddle's rabbit got to it before it was 6 inches high. I always thought it might have been sabotage.
Can I have a rabbit, Daddy?
No, read your book, baby.
Maybe this year we ought to try having just flowers.
Oh, we'll have flowers. I've got it all worked out here, on paper, where everything will be. See? Kind of a map.
Let's see, dear. This is our yard?
Why, sure. Of course, I didn't draw it exactly to scale.
Oh, maybe that's why it looks so much like City Hall Park.
Can we have ducks like in the park?
No, baby. Our yard isn't really as big as it looks on paper.
I figured to have a formal garden this year. Something like the one around City Hall, only more original. Now, for instance, see this.
Oh, Dagwood, a bird bath?
Why, no, honey. That's the cabbage.
The cabbage?
Uh-huh. We don't eat much cabbage. I figure one is enough.
Well, it certainly would be if it grew that big.
Well, it wasn't drawn to scale.
Where are you going to get those 2 trees?
How's that? Trees? Oh, those are tomato plants, dear. Beefsteak tomatoes. Mmm.
Can I have some lettuce?
Why, baby, I have to beg you to eat lettuce.
It's not for me. If I had lettuce, I could feed a rabbit. If I had a rabbit.
You're not getting any rabbit.
And if you did get a rabbit, it could help us eat the cabbage.
I'm not raising that cabbage for rabbit food.
Goodness, Dagwood, don't be so bitter about rabbits. They're kind of cute.
Yeah, rabbits. Trampling down all the flowers around my cabbage.
Oh, are those flowers around the cabbage?
Sure, that's where the formal part of the garden comes in. I'm having an ornamental border all around the different vegetables.
All mixed up together?
Not mixed up, honey. Look at the map. It's all laid out formally. See? Parsley around the beefsteak, tomatoes and violets around the cabbage.
Oh, but Dagwood, most people have the vegetables in one place and the flowers in another.
That's where our garden will be original. See? This way, Baby can enjoy looking at the geraniums while he's hoeing the corn.
Me?
Sure, Baby. Daddy's gonna let you help him this year. Won't that be swell? Raising your own stuff to eat? Maybe you'll raise a big pumpkin, and Mommy'll make it into a pie.
And you'll eat it, hey, Daddy?
Hey, sure. No, baby. We'll all eat it.
I don't think Baby is very excited about raising a pumpkin, Dagwood. They take so long to grow.
Well, what would you like to raise, Baby Dumpling?
Rabbits.
No rabbits. You're going to be in charge of vegetables.
Why are you so set on Baby's going in for garden truck, Dagwood?
It's educational. Look at all the famous men who were raised on a farm.
Oh, well, if it's educational, we'll have to find a way to get him interested.
Read him that book I brought home. That's a very exciting story about vegetables.
You mean Jack and the Beanstalk?
Uh-huh. Wait till you see what Jack did, Baby Dumpling. Starting in with just a handful of beans.
Okay, Daddy. Read it now, Mommy.
Well, I tell you. Run up and get ready for bed. Then Mommy'll read it to you.
Okay, Mommy. I hope it's as good as the pictures in it.
That's a funny thing. Baby knows that a story can be just make-believe, but he thinks anything he sees in a picture is so.
Maybe he takes after his father.
Oh, sure. Everyone says he... How's that?
Oh, you like the seed catalog with the colored pictures best, don't you?
Well, sure. I like to see what I'm getting.
Yes, if you get what you see. But just look at those red roses. Why, they're as big as your head.
Yeah, a new kind. That's a swell color, too.
Well, Dagwood, they can mix printer's ink any color they want.
You think those roses aren't that color?
Maybe they are. I just say the picture doesn't prove it.
Well, anyway, they must be pretty big roses. That color is printed over a photograph, and photographs can't lie, you know.
Oh, yes, they can, Dagwood. Remember that snapshot I took of you sitting with your feet on the porch rail? Your feet were the biggest thing about you.
Well, gosh, Blondie, this catalog is from a new firm, and
that's just it. If you're going to buy plants, I think you'd better deal with an old firm like the Standard Nurseries.
aw, their catalog isn't any good. All big words and little pictures. You can't see what color anything is, or anything.
But their stuff grows, Dagwood. Lots of women in the garden club buy from them.
Well, maybe those women know what those words mean. Listen, do you know what Bellis perennis is?
Oh, why, yes. It's a kind of daisy.
Well, then why don't they say daisy and just be done with it? Golly, look at this name. Funkia Plantagenea granidiflora? Those Standard Nurseries just think they're smart is all.
Oh, no, dear. There are so many different kinds of flowers in one family, they have to have different names, like our own family does. Dagwood Bumstead and Blondie Bumstead and Baby Dumpling Bumstead.
Uh-huh. But suppose we went around calling Baby Dumpling Infantasimus Dumpliana Bumsteronium. What would that get us?
All right, Dagwood. All I'm saying is that if you want things to grow, buy them from people you know are reliable. Oh, that reminds me. Did you read that article about the fakers that are going around?
Going around? Where?
Everywhere. They have trucks full of old weeds that they claim are valuable plants, and they make all kinds of promises and then...
Mommy, I'm ready to get read to.
I'm coming, Baby Dumpling. I'll bring down the article for you to read, Dagwood. They're called Gypsy Gardeners.
Gypsy gardeners, eh?
Uh-huh.
Mommy.
Yes, dear, I'm coming.
They couldn't fool me. I can tell a gypsy by the earrings. Now, let's see. What else is in this catalog? Onions, eh? Spring onions. Boy, those look good. Speaking of onions, I think I'll step into the kitchen and make a little onion sandwich to kind of settle my dinner. Look at this name. Lilium spectrosum melponum, and it's nothing in the world but another lily. Ha! I guess I'll have to have another slice of oniororium with white umbricium. Enterori the Doriatus.
I beg your pardon? Did you say come in?
Uh-huh, but I thought maybe it'd be a friend of mine.
Oh, I hope we will be friends, Mr. Bumstead, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
I'm Mayapple.
Eh?
Miltiadus Mayapple, the harbinger of spring.
The what?
I sell flowers, the loveliest blooms that ever delighted the eye of man.
Uh-huh. Do your plants grow?
Grow? They burgeon, Mr. Bumstead.
They do, eh?
Inevitably, Mr. Bumstead. Of course, I'm just getting a start in your town, and I'm working among my adorable flowers all day long. So that is why I have to devote my evenings to taking orders.
Well, I tell you...
Of course, I'm only approaching real flower lovers in the better neighborhoods, just at the first.
Yeah?
Yes, indeed. I feel about my plantlets as though they were my own children. I want them to have good homes. You see my point?
Well, I tell you...
In fact, I'm afraid I continue to think of them as mine, even after I have, sold them. That's why I always come back to see how they're getting along.
You, come back? To see if they're growing okay?
I suppose you think that's silly of me. Of course, they always do grow. Beautifully.
They do?
Invariably. The Mayapple system sees to that. With a Mayapple seed, or shrub, or plant, nothing goes wrong, because it can't. Upsy-daisy!
Upsy? Daisy?
That's the secret. Upsy-daisy is my name for the most wonderful plant food, my own invention. What milk is to an infant, or red meat to a man, Upsy-daisy is to the tiny green growing things in your garden. Mayapple products must produce gorgeous results, Mr. Bumstead, or you don't owe a penny.
And you come back yourself to see that the stuff grows?
I wouldn't dream of doing otherwise.
Well, that seems pretty good to me. I'll come out to your place and look around.
No, Mr. Bumstead. That's not the Mayapple way. I bring the posies to you.
How's that?
I have a truck just full of growing things right outside your door at this moment.
Oh, well, it's pretty dark to see.
I know, and it's fearfully late. I don't want to drive that laden truck home. I tell you what I'll do, Mr. Bumstead. I'll just sell the whole thing to you at a bargain price. $20.
$20 for a truckload? What's on that truck?
Everything from asters to zinnias.
Well, I tell you...
All yours for $20. And as a special introductory offer, I'll throw in Mayapple seed packages. Vegetables, you know. A complete truck garden from artichokes to zucchini for only $5 more.
Oh, 5 more, eh?
But think, Mr. Bumstead, everything to delight the eye, charm the nostrils, fill the inner man for a paltry $25.
Poultry.
We must consider that I personally guarantee the growth of these wonders of nature. Remember that I return day after day, if need be, to lavish upon them a mother's care.
Well, you wouldn't have to come every day. What would you charge for a stepmother's care?
You wound me, Mr. Bumstead. You do indeed. I simply cannot haggle over my plans. It's bad enough to part with them at all.
Hey, listen, don't break down now. I'll buy the stuff.
You'll never regret it, sir.
I'll take a sack of that, upsy-daisy stuff too.
You, Mr. Bumstead, I'll make the price of a full sack of upsy-daisy just $5 more. $30 in all.
Well, we keep our petty cash in the old bean pot here.
What a quaint old bean pot. Are you fond of beans, Mr. Bumstead?
3 is 20. Yeah, I like beans. And 1 is 21.
Here, Mr. Bumstead, is an extra premium for you. Something not included in the regular seed list. May apples marvels. The bean of tomorrow. Free to you.
Yeah, thanks. Put 'em on the sink here. And 8 is 29. Hey, I've only got 29.50 here. I guess the deal's off.
No, Mr. Bumstead. I'll trust you for the difference.
Say, thanks.
Not at all. Now, I'll unload the things on your back porch. And wait, just wait till you see them tomorrow.
Hey, Blondie, open the window wide before you come to bed.
I'll wait till we're ready to go to sleep. Baby might catch cold.
How's he gonna catch cold from our window?
He's coming in to have me tell him more about Jack and the Beanstalk. It's growing chilly. These spring nights are treacherous.
Golly, you don't think we'll have a frost, do you?
Why, no, dear. Why?
Why, all those plants out there.
What plants? Out where?
Oh, all the plants outdoors, everywhere.
Dagwood, is there something you're trying to hide from me?
Well, a little surprise for the morning. Now, don't go guessing.
If I didn't know everything was closed at night, I'd think you'd been buying something. You didn't leave the house, did you?
No, honey. Come on to bed.
What are these things on your dresser?
Eh? Oh, beans.
Beans?
Uh-huh. May apples marvels. Give 'em here.
Are you going to sleep with them under your pillow?
Maybe.
Dagwood, where did you get these beans?
I'll tell you all about it in the morning.
How much did you pay for those old dried up beans?
Not a cent. They were free. Kind of a sample.
Oh. Well, don't go buying anything from people who come to the door. Have you read that article I told you about in the magazine?
No, where is it?
Right here. Look. Well, here it is.
You read it to me, honey.
First, I have to read to Baby Dumpling, and now to you.
Well, the onions I ate made me sleepy.
Onions. You know they make you dream. Well, it says here, a new type of swindler is degrading the fine old art of horticulture.
The what?
Some crooks are making a cheap racket out of the flower business.
Uh-huh. Just give me the high spots, honey.
Well, the idea is that these men and women pretend to know all about flowers, and they get in with amateur gardeners by telling them how much they love flowers.
Eh?
Yes, they make believe they have such fine plants that they can't bear to part with them.
Oh, golly.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just, a coincidence, I guess. Go ahead, Blondie.
They travel in trucks.
Trucks?
Why, yes. They bring the plants right to your door.
2.
Dagwood, something is the matter.
The onions I ate. Maybe the back door.
I suppose so. The truck is loaded with old dried up twigs and things that they claim are just ready to bloom. If the customer suspects they're no good, the sharpers claim they'll come back and see that they grow. Why, Dagwood, what are you getting up for?
I've got to open that window. It's hot in here.
Oh, well, and then these crooks sell whatever they have for whatever they can get.
$29.50.
What?
I said, pretty nifty. Boy, it is hot. This window is stuck.
Of course, the swindlers make the most money out of the sawdust they sell for plant food.
2. Upsy-daisy.
What are you talking about, Dagwood?
I said, upsy-daisy, to the window.
Oh, well, now come back to bed.
Yeah, just a minute.
What did you throw out of the window, Dagwood?
Oh, it was those old tired beans. I don't guess they're not much good.
That's what Jack's mother did, Daddy.
Eh? Jack who?
Jack and the Beanstalk. She threw some old beans out of the window, and boy, did they grow.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess I'll get some sleep now. I want to be up early in the morning. Don't you get up when I do, Blondie.
You want to get up first? Aren't you well, Dagwood?
Oh, I'm all right. I'll tell you in the morning.
Read me Jack and the Beanstalk again, Mommy.
Well, if Daddy's so tired, maybe we just better look over the pictures. Get your feet under the blanket.
Okay, tell me the picture.
Well, here's Jack coming home after selling all they had and with nothing to show for it but some no-good beans.
2.
Are we disturbing you, Dagwood?
No. I'm almost asleep.
Go on, Mommy.
And here's Jack's mother throwing the beans out the window. And here's a picture of the marvelous beanstalk that grew up overnight, higher than the clouds.
Upsy-daisy.
What, Daddy?
Shh, dear, let him get to sleep. And here's a picture of Jack climbing the beanstalk and meeting the giantess.
She was nice to him.
She certainly was, considering that he stole the giant's fairy harp.
The harp hollered, "Help! Help!"
Help!
Shh, baby. Here's the giant saying fee-fi-fo-fum. And here's the magic hen that could lay golden eggs.
I can do like a hen, Mommy. Cluck, 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 cluck.
Hey, listen, hen. How's for laying a little gold egg?
I think Daddy's dreaming.
Uh-huh. Dreaming he's Jack up the Beanstalk.
This episode of Blondie is being produced and sponsored by the Watertown Players. The Watertown Players has been a staple of this community for over 30 years. As you may remember, the Watertown Players was founded by the late, great William F. Yankee III. Our friend Bill had a wonderful sense of humor, and nothing gave him greater joy than to make others laugh. We know that he is smiling down on his beloved Watertown Players as we continue bringing laughter to our audiences with each and every episode of Blondie. And we can't wait to bring you even more great comedies, musicals, and children's productions in the near future. The Watertown Players, dedicated to enriching the lives of those in this and surrounding communities through creativity, expression, and fun. Dagwood Bumstead, calling Dagwood Bumstead.
Go away. I'm asleep.
That's what I know.
Who is that? Captain Sculper?
No, this is the Sandman.
Well, what can I do for you?
Why did you throw those beans out of the window?
Well, I'll pick 'em up in the morning.
Too late, Dagwood Bumstead. If you don't know, those were magic beans. Why, you don't know beans.
Were they really any good?
Let's go down to the garden.
No, no, listen, I'm in bed, see? And... Hey, no, I'm not. I'm outdoors somewhere.
Or to ascertain your whereabouts more specifically, may we describe your situation as that of being in a garden?
Hey, who's that?
I, sir, am one of the family of smooth kidney-shaped edible seeds born severally in long pods by certain legumes.
How's that?
In other words, he's one of the beans.
Golly, it certainly talks well, for a bean.
Well, it's a Boston bean, you know.
Oh, you don't see a slice of brown bread around, do you?
Our traditional associate is absent, sir. We are not here in our edible, but in our generative capacity. Pray proceed.
What's he talking about now?
The beans want to be planted.
Oh, sure. Glad to oblige. I'll just throw a little loose earth over 'em. Now what?
Just sprinkle a little of this upsy-daisy over them and jump out of the way.
Jump? You mean they start growing right away?
Certainly. Upsy-daisy works like magic. Try it.
Okay, let's see. One handful ought to do the trick. There.
Look out!
Hey, hey! I'm caught up in the branches! Help! Help! That upsy-daisy certainly works fast. 1 minute I was in my own garden, and now, here I am. But where am I?
Sure and begory, the lad must be dizzy to be after asking himself, where is he?
Hey, who's saying that?
Look at the tree, and whatever you see leaning agin the bark, that's me.
All I see is a harp.
Well, what do you think I am?
I mean, the kind of harp you can play music on. Oh, a harp that can talk and play by itself? Golly, I bet Baby Dumpling would like that.
Maybe he would, and maybe he wouldn't. But even if I wanted to go, I couldn't.
Why not?
The giant has me under a spell. If anyone touches me, I have to yell.
Oh, this must be the giant's harp. Well, how loud can you yell? Oh, well, I guess the giant won't hear that. Come on, let's go.
Don't touch me now or I'll have to yelp. It's something that I cannot help. Look out! Look out!
Gosh, shh.
Fee, fi, foo, fum, and I'll be bound someone's giving my harp the runaround.
To the giant! Legs! Take me away! Boy, that was close. Hey, open up in here. Isn't anyone home?
Nobody here but us chickens.
Chickens? Isn't this too big for a hen house? Isn't it?
Not for us giants, hen house.
Oh, does this belong to the giant too?
Sure, this is his hen house and I'm his hen.
You sound a lot like Baby Dumpling. I mean, you sound like Baby Dumpling would sound if he sounded like a hen.
Listen, you want a nest for the night?
I wouldn't mind. See, I'm hiding from the giant.
You're in the wrong roost. The giant comes here every night to count his golden eggs.
Yeah? Which hen lays the golden eggs?
That one over there.
Thanks. I want to take that hen home to Blondie. Just a little souvenir of my trip.
Better not let the giant catch you touching that hen.
I don't know. Maybe the giant isn't as tough as he looks. He reminds me of a lady named Mayapple. And she wasn't very tough.
The giant's name used to be Mayapple. When she started to grow, she changed into a big apple.
What started her growing?
Oh, A big bowl of upsy-daisy every morning. Cluck, 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 cluck.
Yes, sir. A big, crispy, crunchy bowl of upsy-daisy every morning will certainly give you rosy cheeks and lots of energy.
Hey, turn that off.
Now, here's how you can make your own upsy-daisy. Just grind up a nice piece of 2x4 and a pint of cream.
Well, that's the first time I've ever heard of a radio in a henhouse.
Anything can happen in a dream.
Well, if I'm dreaming, I think I'll take a few golden eggs and go home before I wake up.
You better hurry. I hear the giant coming now. That's her!
Fee, fi, fo, fum. Who's in my hen house? And how come?
Nobody here but us chickens to know.
With a fee, and a fi, and a fee, fo, fum. I'm so mad I could crush a nasturtium.
She says she's mad.
Shh, yeah.
Let me in here for pity's sake, or I'll part your hair with a garden rake.
Listen, unlock the door, and when she opens it, I'll run between her legs and find the beanstalk.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Gangway!
Run! Run, run!
Fee, fi, fo, fum.
Here's the beanstalk. Now I'll climb down.
I think you're out of luck there, chum.
Faster! Faster!
I can't go any faster, too. Why do I always have dreams like this?
This dream comes to you through the courtesy of the Upsy Daisy Plant Food Company.
That's the end. I'm going to jump.
Dagwood, for goodness sake, wake up!
Two, look out below. I'm falling.
You have fallen out of bed.
Hey, where am I?
You're in your own bedroom, Dagwood, and it's time to get up.
Morning? Yeah, look it. Sunshine.
I know.
Hey, Blondie, you know what? I just had a sponsored dream.
Well, you'd better get up now. Mrs. Mayapple is downstairs.
Mayapple? How big is she?
Oh, just an ordinary size woman. Why?
I dreamed she was a giant.
She seems like a nice woman, Dagwood.
Nice? Oh no, Blondie. Why, she's the one who sold me all that stuff. A truckload of plants that probably won't grow, and some of that sawdust plant food.
You must have dreamt that too, Dagwood. Mrs. Mayapple isn't that kind of a woman at all. Why, just look out the window.
Out the window? Are those beans growing?
Why, not yet, silly.
I guess I'm a little mixed up. Do you like that stuff I brought last night?
If you ask me, you got a bargain. Look down there.
Golly, Mayapple's spading up the whole garden.
Uh-huh. Oh, I love the way earth smells in the spring. I want to dig in it too, Dagwood.
Me too, Daddy. Look it. I've got my overalls on.
Yeah, good morning. I'm glad you're not a hen anymore.
A hen?
Yeah, he was a hen and you were a harp. Boy, that was some dream.
It must have been.
Come on, Daddy. Hurry up, or that woman will have the garden all done.
Yeah, Mayapple needn't think she's gonna have all the fun. Hey, Mayapple, wait for us.
I'll go down and tell her, Daddy. I'm going to tell her to leave room for a little rabbit house, just in case.
This year we really will have a garden, won't we, Dagwood?
You bet, honey. What's the use of paying all kinds of prices for vegetables when you can raise them yourself?
And flowers. If we grow more than we can use, we can give them to people.
Sure. I bet people will be hanging over the fence looking at our flowers this year.
Of course, it will take a little work, Dagwood.
Oh, I don't mind working in a garden, honey. I can get up a little earlier every day, like this morning.
And I can buy a little gardening smock and a shade hat and some gloves and work in the afternoon.
And I can get in a lot of work, evenings before it gets dark.
Oh, I bet we have a lovely garden this year.
I bet it will be the best garden on Shady Lane Avenue.
And so we leave Blondie and Dagwood of Shady Lane Avenue. We invite you to listen the next time we join the Bumsteads. Our next episode is entitled Mrs. Chirp and a Tasmanian Blight. Sounds like a hoot and a half to me. This week's episode, Dag and the Beanstalk, featured the voice talents of Linda Ewert as May, Tara Jones as Baby Dumpling, Blaine Landowski as Dagwood, and of course Lisa Steffel as Blondie. This week's episode was brought to you by the Watertown Players. Looking for quality, affordable entertainment? Well, look no further, friends. Make sure to follow the Watertown Players on Facebook so you don't miss any past, present, or future productions. This is your announcer, Jim Steffel, thanking you for supporting the Watertown Players and our continuing episodes of Blondie. For more information on how you can help fund these fine old-fashioned productions, please text Blondie to 44321. That's Blondie, B-L-O-N-D-I-E, to 44321. Thank you, and good night.